Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Pitch Lab, a weekly masterclass where we teach you how to control the world using only your mind.
You said you hated those, and I actually took it out because I had one of those.
We don't use the word hate on Pitch Lab. We use love a lot less than other things. It's an excellent pitch deck, except I hated the summary slide.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just going to say that, you don't need to do that. And
the summary, okay.
Because, if by the end they have truly forgotten everything, you just failed to do a good pitch, but you didn't fail to do a good pitch. You did a great pitch.
In terms of the competitive landscape, there are niche players that we really don't care about. There are the visionaries that have a lower voltage system, doesn't really take advantage of that high voltage economics. There are the challengers, which are larger companies or companies that were acquired by larger companies, such as Legrand and Schneider. And then there are the leaders in the space.
Competition slide, probably number one place that people fail. I don't think you failed here. I wanted to be a little bit more convinced about either why you're in that quadrant, why there are not more people. You are there. Maybe it's because of your patent. Here's an example. So maybe you're in that high voltage but lowest cost per watt area because you have a patent, and that patent is, excludes other people from being able to do the same thing. Then it's not just we're up here because we say we are, but because one of your axes may be intellectual property protection. This is not static. So if this were an animation, then if you were so fortunate to be in the top right, the little minions will be coming up to the top right as well. I mean, you wouldn't want to sit in the bottom part. So to answer why can't 75F or Lumen Cache encroach upon your territory, because they will be, if it's so great, they're going to come there. You need to kind of show a bit more about why you are there and what's to stop other people from being there. The way you've done the storytelling is excellent. It's a great example where I don't mind there's less text and nice photo. I think the pace of it was just amazing. I would use this as a model for other people. If you allow me just to tell it to you straight, I think that this is not a pitch, it's a lecture. You're making the mistake of educating us, and therefore there's a lot of confusion about what you actually do. You're missing the headline here. You have way too much information on your slide. So I can see you're literally reading your slides. And there is no greater hell than being in meetings when people read their slides, because you're like, oh no, there's 17 more slides. Oh no, he's going to the third bullet. Oh no, there's 4 more bullets. And so don't do that. I think you're naturally a good presenter. So if you remove 80% of the text of your slides, you're going to present more naturally, because why? You're going to get to the point. By the way, my favorite part of your presentation, I hope everyone keyed in on this, is when you said, parents are not good role models. So clearly your parents are not on this Zoom call. Otherwise, you'd be getting a little tap on the shoulder. So good for you for that courage. You have to leave me feeling like I really care about what you do, and it's a big problem that your product doesn't exist. So that's why I think just using numbers and statistics and McKinsey report references and things like that, they might be true, but they don't make me care. So always ask yourself when you're starting your pitch deck or you're refining it, how do I make people care about my problem? Now, if you're pitching somebody and you are in nanotechnology and you're pitching a VC they're all PhDs in nanotechnology, you can skip that part, right? They already care about exactly the space you're in. But even then, you have to make them care about your approach. So on the problem slide, that's why I keep saying you have to say who, whether it's you're selling to people, like a direct-to-consumer product, or selling to businesses. And by the way, when you sell to businesses, you're often selling to people anyways. But when you're selling to businesses, then who could be a manufacturing company, a small business, a retail store, a restaurant. So the reason that I say who, and I always suggest to people use images and things, is if I don't have any empathy for who has the problem, I don't care. From this title slide, there's Liam Neeson with a gun, always a good thing. There's the Eiffel Tower, means he's in Paris. The movie is called Taken, and there's a young woman at the bottom there. And I know it's his daughter, but you know that because it says so in the movie poster. So you know exactly what you're going to get out of this movie. This is not a romantic comedy. This is not a documentary.
And just to push it over the edge to make it ultra clear so you don't accidentally click on this, they took his daughter, he'll take their lives. They will take Liam Neeson's daughter, and then he will take something of theirs, their lives. And he does it like 25 times. So this is an example of a really good title slide. There's nothing here that doesn't need to be here. There's everything that should be here. Make this your model for your title slide.
Let me start by telling you a quick story. The story about John, let's say a small pizza store owner. Well, John is working hard to grow his business. He has a loyalty program that only works with his store and doesn't attract customers who has never visited his store before. While he does his best to promote his business on social media, he's really unhappy with all the advertising he has been doing. It's because, to be honest, he doesn't have any background in advertising. He's simply throwing money at Facebook and Google and just simply hoping for the best.
The problem statement here is, I think, number one is never say small business, because there is no such thing as a small business. A small business is a web development company, a solo accountant, a cannabis store. You don't target all those people. And in your own examples, you talked about really retail. If I take like a tattoo place, loyalty, I don't have any tattoos, but if I did, I might have like one here, one here, one here. I get 5, I get a sixth tattoo somewhere. That makes sense. Brand awareness, influencers, 100%, right? There's TV shows about tattoo artists, and every person is literally a brand. And then advertising, whatever, but make everything relative to who you're selling to, and then make the lack of it something that is bad. It's the way you've done it is almost like, oh yeah, those are nice to haves, but if you don't have a loyalty program, you're still going to get walk-in traffic. You need to say, no, if you don't have this, you're going to die. Almost a perfect balance of kind of design and content. So a lot of people struggle with how much to put in or how little. So it tends to be like one word or 8-point type and lots of information. So I thought you did a really good job of balancing those things. It's really about storytelling, and it's something that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. And one of the most confusing things, but kind of fun, it's maybe more fun for me if I'm not the one doing it, is that the reason your story changes is your strategy changes. But sometimes when you're shaping your story, also you kind of realize, wait a minute, the reason this is hard to explain is actually my strategy is wrong. It's not just the story part. So there's this back and forth, this interplay. I just said it was fun. In reality, it's actually excruciating when you're trying to get it right.